This is not just a headgum podcast, it's the best headgum podcast ever.
I liked it. Well, the voice you heard is an actor that you know from iZombie, Masters of... Wait.
Do you want to still do like it?
Yeah, shut up. I forgot how to do my own podcast. That really threw me off.
I can talk you through it.
No, leave all this in. Welcome to another episode of Why Won't You Date Me? That's how I do the intro. A podcast where me, Nicole, Byer, was trying to figure out why I was still single, even though you could come in my hair and say it's dandruff. My guest today, that's the part I missed.
Unmissable too. I'm glad you were back.
Thank you so much. My guest today is the voice of Headgum, is also an actor that you know from iZombie, Masters of Sex, and CBS's hit series Ghosts, which has been renewed for 2 seasons, which is something that you love in this industry.
Can't believe it.
It's Rose McIver.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. How are you?
I'm very good. Excited to be here. Excited to see you.
Okay, riddle me this.
Mm-hmm.
How did you end up here?
In this room?
No, how did you decide to move to the States from New Zealand?
I feel like I didn't really make any decisions. I think I just kind of kept going with stuff. Like something would happen and I would be like, oh, well, I guess I'll follow that little thread for a while. My dad's claim to fame, I'm just realizing, is that he's never made a decision in his life, which is sort of pros and cons.
That's men.
Yeah. He's just like, somebody told him to work at a camera shop and he was like, okay, and just followed along. And I do think I've got a bit of that. Coming here, I came when I was 18, I guess, for like a junket, a 7-minute rotated interview junket for a Disney Channel movie I did, and I had a bit of a nervous breakdown.
And what was the movie?
Johnny Capahala Back on Board, the sequel.
Wait, what is it called?
Johnny Capahala, Back on Board.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, well, watch the first one first that I wasn't in, called Johnny Tsunami.
No. Oh, I do know Johnny Tsunami, but
Right.
I have not seen it. I will only watch the sequel.
Thank you.
I have a thing where I only really watch sequels.
Perfect. I'm your girl. I think I've done a few of those. And so I came out then and then kind of went back and forth between New Zealand and would start university and get a job there and then leave. And I just sort of hopped around a bit. And now suddenly it's 14 years later. I don't know. It just kept happening. There have been some bleak times where I've been like, I'm going home. That's it. And then, I would book something at the 11th hour, or I couldn't afford a plane ticket one time, I remember. One very sad Tiny Tim Christmas early on. And then just got really, really lucky because I know obviously this is a game of luck so much of the time. So
it really is a game of like being in the right place at the right time with like the right person in the room. Because like truly, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this, and then I say something weird to somebody, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get this.
I also feel like it's like those moments that you have confidence that. There are times I've gone in, I remember going in for a horror audition early on, and I just had like tanked a bunch of other auditions. And when you go in for a horror audition with no confidence and you don't know the words properly, and it's just like, oh, there are tapes out there. If they were released, I'd be gone.
There's a lot of bad tapes of me out there. I did this one audition where all I had to say was, help, he needs help.
What was it for? Give us the full story.
It is for a comedian who does not work anymore. It was Louie.
Okay.
It was a Louie show.
And you had to just do help?
Yeah, it was just a lady on the street.
Okay.
And the casting director laughed really hard and went, you're not going to get this.
You're kidding.
I guess I wasn't convincing. She was like, you're very funny, but you're not going to get this.
Okay, well, I'm glad she prefaced that with the first line because that's horrible.
Yeah, very, very, very mean.
Yeah, that's very...
Wait, Rose. Are you single? Are you dating? Are you married? Who's to say?
Who's to say? I am married right now.
Right now?
Yep. And no, I'm married and I have been with my husband. We've been together for about 10 years. Yeah, a little rocky first year, you know how it goes. And then, but I think we count it from that start of that year.
Wait, can you tell me why it was rocky? You don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
Well, I was living in Canada.
And then he was here?
Yeah. And
okay. So it was like long distance and
all the above. Yeah.
then were you working in Canada?
I was all
So
the
it's like
time. Yeah.
long hours.
Long hours, long distance.
Ooh, that sounds
That's an album, isn't it?
rough.
Long hours, long distance.
Long hours, long distance. It's a country album.
Look, it's a weird time in the industry. We're all looking for side hustles.
You know, it's tough. It feels wild.
I know. That's why I can't believe I'm on a show that is renewed for 2 more years.
I
I've
know,
never,
which is really fucking cool.
It's insane.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very,
It's
very
so
grateful.
funny. I've watched episodes and I
Thanks.
really like it.
Thanks.
It's just a fun ensemble.
It's a comfort show. You know,
Mhm.
it's a good, easy fun. You can watch it with your family. I feel like I love the people I work with so much. There's 10 of us that are regulars, which is a huge
Mhm.
regular cast for a show. And, it's like a big, crazy family. And,
And you shoot that in Canada, right?
we do. We shoot in Montreal. Oui. I'm fluent.
Oui,
as you
oui.
can tell.
Do you speak parlez-vous français?
Très bien.
Ooh.
No, I do.
Bien.
I speak a little bit. I understand quite a lot more because the crew all speak French. So I didn't want to be able to be gossiped about behind my back, which is a healthy motivator. And then, so I had done like bad high school French with a teacher in New Zealand who'd like never left New Zealand, and I definitely had a strong New Zealand accent on my French. But it's getting a little bit better. And my daughter is going to be, growing up there for the first couple of years of her life. So I've really got to start speaking it because she's going to be
How old is your daughter?
1. Yeah.
Do you like her?
She's really cool. She's
That's
like
so
really
sweet.
nice.
I'm waiting for someone to go, no, I don't.
I'm sure there'll be a chapter. Again, it's like, depends what year you ask a person. Like she's just in the sweet spot right now. I'll say 13 months is fun.
So 13 months, she's not talking a ton yet, right?
She's got a lot of dog. We've got dog. We've got baby. She can say baby. And no.
That's so funny because I nannied 3 different kids, and
you just held up 2 fingers.
That's funny because it was 1 kid and then 2 kids from one family.
So you condensed them.
Yup. The erasure of the one. But they all know no. Because you say no so often to them.
Oh, yeah. And her name, I think I've said it publicly, so I don't care, is Chloe. So rhymes with no. And I've started calling her Noe half the time because it's just
Noe.
And in a really humiliating turn, my dog's name is Zoe as well. So
I like it. Everything rhymes in your house.
Yeah. Yep.
And then is your husband named Joey?
Joey.
Kidding. Oh, is it Joey?
No.
That's a real name. I said Doey.
Is that on a short list for children?
Oh, duh. I'm just dumb as hell. When I was nannying, sometimes instead of no, I would go, is that a good idea? Because then that would make him stop and think.
Empower them. Yeah, you're good. Did you nanny for a long time?
Yes.
What ages did you start with?
I started with 1 kid when he was 2 months old, and I had him until he was about 2. And then a nice lady in the building took my job because she was cheaper than me.
This is
which is
so
fine.
Heartbreaking.
Did
you like the kid?
I loved him. He was so cute.
This.
And it was fun to watch him learn what things were funny.
Yeah.
He farted once drinking his milk, and I laughed, and then he laughed, and then I was like, "You get it? That was funny."
Yeah, that is just starting to happen for us. Those things, not specifically the milk fart, but I'm sure it'll come.
Not specifically the milk fart. It was very funny to me.
Wait, I'm so sad for you. Did you ever see him again?
Did I? Yes, because.
You lived in the building too.
I lived in the building too, and I fought with the lady who took my job. No, I can't remember. Oh, they moved away, and then when they came to visit, I saw them again. And then I had moved on to another family of 2 little boys, and they were 2 and maybe 4. It was before preschool, but he was gonna go to preschool and within a year or 2.
Yeah.
Maybe,
man. That must have been so sad. It's like when a lion is reunited with the man who tamed it. You know those stories you've seen?
Mm-hmm.
Did it feel like that? Did he run against the fence?
No.
He forgot
Unfortunately, no, he was just moderately excited to see me. I don't think he was gone long enough. Maybe now he would be really excited to see me.
Yeah.
I'm not sick. I just smoke cigarettes. It's disgusting.
It's fine. You are safe
I
here.
refuse to quit.
Mhm.
I'll be the last person in the United States who
Is this
smokes
like
cigarettes.
your cause?
My cause, my platform is keep cigarettes alive.
Small groups on those marches.
It's the smallest group. Nobody smokes anymore. I feel so passe.
Have you got a friend, like one good mate? You can kind of go and have we call them durries in New Zealand.
Dairies?
Durries. Durries.
I've never heard that.
Have a durry?
No. Actually, I really don't have any friends that smoke.
I've got a couple, so I'll put you guys in
depressing.
touch.
Please do. I'll text them and be like, meet me outside this bar.
That's my new thing is matchmaking cigarette smokers.
Wait, how small is New Zealand? I've never been. I want to go.
It's got, when I left, there was like 4 and a bit million people, I think. It's a long, narrow country. There's a thing called Te Araroa track that's like you walk from the top to the bottom. I think that takes like, oh my God, I'm going to be so wrong. I'm guessing a month, maybe a little bit longer. So it's that far. Is that helpful? A month to walk across.
I just learned that people hike for 8 hours. That's in like a month.
I just saw a family. The reason I was thinking of it, I saw a post the other day where a family were like, with their 2 young children, we've just completed the Te Araroa track. And I was just thinking like how hard it is to get from my house to like the car with my daughter. And they just tent. They camp the whole way down.
That's insane.
So yeah.
I don't like the outside like that.
Okay.
I love being inside.
Where did you grow up?
New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay. The great wilderness of New Jersey.
Well, it is called the Garden State.
There you go.
And I'm a farmer. So I take after my state a little bit.
Do you grow vegetables? Do you? I'm a farmer too.
You are?
Yeah.
What do you grow?
Well, at the moment, nothing. But I have, like, during the pandemic, I really lost my mind.
During the pandemic, I was a real farmer. And then I stopped farming because I had to have some, like, floor replaced where the plants were because LA homes were not made for rain.
Oh, yeah.
They're all made out of marshmallow.
Yeah.
And I had so many leaks.
There are no gutters here. Guys, that's insane.
It's wild.
We remember when we moved into our house and we just, like, they just stopped, these gutters. And it's like, yeah, I know it doesn't rain a lot all the time here.
But it does,
But when it does, like, they have a really functional purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Gutters. We've been, cutting corners on gutters in LA for too long.
And that's my second platform. No, I'm jumping on it. It's my platform. I'm stealing it. Okay. Smoking in gutters. What was I saying?
New Zealand's small. So New Zealand is small. It is kind of 2 degrees of separation. It's like anyone out here. I met a girl the other day in a coffee shop and she and I were shocked that we hadn't crossed paths. She'd been living here for 10 years. But as soon as we start unpacking, we knew the same people.
Is it like Iceland? Where they have an app that helps you decipher if the person you're dating is your cousin.
That is amazing. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I think it should.
Small
it should have that app. I don't know that it does.
People have dated and been like, oh no, we're related.
We were scared. My husband and I are not related. I'll preface with that. We know like quite a few generations back at least. Like mine go back to a different country, so we're fine. But when we met, we were shocked that like all of our family names are the same. Like all of the names. It's like he's got a sister Rose, I'm Rose. My brother's Paul George, he's George. My dad's John, his granddad's John. My mum's Anne, his grandma's Anne. Like it's really weird. And all of the cousins, like Robins. Robin isn't that common.
No, Robin.
Two Robins.
I don't know any Robins.
Well, you need to meet our families. But yeah, we had a moment of like, oh, okay, I hope there's not too much overlap.
But he's from New Zealand too.
He's Australian.
Oh, he's Australian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And then you met here?
We did. And historically, like, if you're in New Zealand, there's a lot of tension between New Zealand and Australians.
Oh.
Sport-wise mainly. It's like there's it's a sibling dynamic. But as soon as you get to the States, you kind of sniff each other out a little bit.
And then you're like, a friend.
Yeah.
You're from my side of the world.
Somebody else who, eats a jaffle.
Excuse me? Eats a jeffle?
A jaffle.
What's a jeffle?
Jaffle is like a toasted sandwich that it's in a press and it cuts the nice little triangles. Do you have the little jaffles?
I've never heard of a jeffle in my whole life.
Go to Little Ripper. Here's an endorsement.
Little Ripper?
Little Ripper is a cafe.
You're saying so many things I've never heard.
I know. I sound like the faraway tree that Enid Blyton book.
I like it.
The Little Ripper is a coffee shop in Glassell Park and they sell Australian and by proxy, New Zealand, not goods and wares, just stuff.
Food?
Just mainly food and like, I think, jars of Marmite, stuff like that, Vegemite.
Oh, okay. I've heard of Vegemite. I didn't like it. I tried it.
Ah.
It was not for
You
me.
started too late.
Maybe. Yeah, because you like things as a kid and then it's like nostalgia for you. And you're like, oh, this is good. Kind of like Burger King.
Yeah.
I ate that when I was a kid and I still eat it now and I still maintain it's good. It's not.
My mum loves Burger King, but my mum calls it, because she changes, her pronunciation on anything is always, she's like, what does she sound like? I don't know. She sounds like she's reciting fables or something when she talks, but she says Burger King. It's like she refuses to accept
Burger King?
She's like, I got myself a Burger King on the way home.
I like her.
Yeah, she puts bizarre emphases.
Does she live here too?
No, I came out here.
How long of a flight is it? I'm really interested in
New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
You got to come. It's only, you can fly overnight direct. It's 12 hours-ish, give or take one.
So it's closer than Australia because that was 16 hours.
Where in Australia did you fly into?
I went to Sydney.
You were on a slow plane.
Was I?
Yeah, it's like 14.
It took like 16 hours. I remember waking up and there were like 8 hours left. And I was like, how? I slept for so long. But then they gave me ice cream.
They knew how to win you back. When we flew from Canada last year, from Montreal, the first time in my life before we took off, the plane was like, and there's a strong headwind, so we're going to have to stop in Toronto for gas. Has that ever happened to you on a flight?
No, usually they fill her up before I get on.
But you'd think, like...
That's wild.
It's not
That's also scary.
I know. I was like, well, I'm glad we're stopping at least. But also, we had my dog on board who had a drug that was going to sedate her for a very finite stretch of time. So it became it felt like The Amazing Race or something, trying to get there before she woke up.
That is wild, though. We got to stop for gas?
Stop for gas. I've just never heard a plane say that. And everybody kind of looked around bewildered and there was no further explanation.
That is very funny.
I was like, it's not a light plane. It was like a passenger plane,
Maybe that's why I didn't stop for gas, because it was too heavy. And then they were like, we won't make it across the ocean?
But it's not even across the ocean. It's Montreal to here. It's like a 6-hour flight.
For whatever reason, I thought you were going to New Zealand.
Sorry.
I'm obsessed with New Zealand.
Yeah, no, you can't get past it. Do you want to go? We can talk about it more.
I love it. I love New Zealand. Wait, so growing up, did you date a lot?
I started, I was talking to my friend about this a couple of days ago because her son is 12 and just had his first girlfriend. I was like, oh, what did that entail? And it was like, her friend said, would you be this girl's boyfriend? And he said yes, and they didn't talk for 3 weeks. And then she said she doesn't want to be your girlfriend anymore, and he still hadn't talked to her, and he said, okay. I was like, I do remember that well. And I said I was quite happy to hear that he was having that experience because I don't think kids are dating the same way, or like they're unfortunately, I feel like getting a lot of their needs met online, and they're not like trying to interact with people. So I was like, look, at least you like looked at each other. That's something physical, some connection. It's something in the physical realm at least. But I remember, my first boyfriend was a twin called Tim. There were Tim and Ash. And I didn't know which one was which because I had just, met them. And I was
That's genuinely very funny to be like, I don't know which one's my boyfriend. This one you'll do today.
And it's true. It didn't matter because we, again, dated for 2 weeks, I think, said hello when the right one would look at me and like catch my eye and linger, then I'd say hello back. And that was it for a couple of weeks.
What if the wrong one looked at you? Would you be like, no, not you?
I could have been complicit in like some giant family betrayal. Maybe they don't even talk anymore. I don't know. But that was my first sort of significant heartbreak, as you can imagine. And then
Wait, Tim broke up with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We, again, hadn't spoken, so
I get it.
But sometimes love speaks louder than words.
You know what? Sometimes it does. I didn't go through any of that. I didn't date in school. I didn't date until I was a full-grown adult.
Did you have crushes?
Oh, I had so many crushes.
Did you tell anyone?
No, not really.
Did you tell your friends that you had a crush on that other person?
Of course. I love to gossip. I love to talk. I would tell all of my friends that I had a crush on somebody. But I would never tell my crush because I was like, what if they're like, oh, man, that's so sweet. I don't feel the same way. And then like my soul would be a little crushed. And I'd be like,
Aw.
no.
Yeah.
My friend's daughter is, I think she's 16. She had a boyfriend. And I was like, oh, do you like him? She was like, I guess. He doesn't put in enough effort. I was like, what?
16?
Yep. And then they broke up. And then her new boyfriend got her just like this huge bouquet of roses for Valentine's Day. And I
He
was
got
like,
the memo.
that's wild that you're 16 and you understand what you deserve. I'm almost 97 years old and I barely understand what I deserve.
But I hear you are in a relationship.
I am.
A deserving relationship?
Yes.
Good.
He is one of the sweetest. And it is funny because sometimes he'll say something nice. Like he's like, oh, I'll do this for you. And I'll be like, I will try to do it back to you. And he's like, you don't have to. If I'm offering you something, it's just me offering it. And I'm like, oh.
You've been so
okay.
conditioned. Man, that's rough. Does he buy you flowers? Has he?
Yes. He bought me flowers for Valentine's Day
Cute.
and my birthday.
Cute. Because I feel like flowers are a thing that my husband buys me flowers and it's so lovely. And my mum and dad are still together. I love my family so much. My dad is the kindest person on the planet, truly.
Aww.
But he's not a flower buyer. Like he just doesn't, he shows his love every single other way. But it was interesting, like when I got really together with my husband, I was like, what is this thing that happens all the time? My dad will like sit in a car outside a doctor's appointment waiting for my mum for 2 hours. Like he'll do
That's
it.
so nice.
But I did start to think like, Dad, you need to be doing this like stuff that people do.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so cute. He used to like, he'd do like, take mum out or do nice things. But on her birthday, he never wrote cards. He just wasn't a cards person. And so one year, just a few years ago, I was like, Dad, that's it. Okay, you're getting mum a card. And he was like, okay, got it. Yeah. And I took him we were in Romania, of course. And I took him to a mall and dropped him off at the mall like I was the dad, being like, go get a card and bring it back. And he was like, okay. And he went and got the card. And anyway, the next morning when my mum opened it, it was this beautiful like paper ornamental kind of one of those cutout cards. And he'd left it blank. And I was like,
that is simply so funny.
I said, Dad, what are you thinking? What are you doing? He was like, I wanted her to be able to use it. Isn't that just the sweetest, like, missed mark ever? And Mum was like, she knows Dad. She's like, that's fine, I like it, actually. I'll make something.
Love that.
You're so well suited.
You know, like the old school thing from the 90s where it's like, women are from Venus and men are from Mars. That is like a perfect example of like, how are men socialized? He's not the only man to do that.
No, and truly, he's like he's shown up, he's the best dad and husband, but just doesn't understand the sort of tokens of endearment thing.
That is so funny. Yeah. I don't think my dad ever got my mom flowers or a card. I do believe my mother would buy her own flowers and cards and go, look what you got me. And he'd be like, wow, look at me. I'm so thoughtful.
Well, I like it. Your mum knew how to just solve her own problems. She was like, all right, I'm not going to sit around waiting.
Yeah, and then she would buy things. Yeah. And then I would listen to conversations where my dad would be like, why did you buy that? And she would be like, I wanted it.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, well, all right, it's here. I'm like, okay.
Did you learn a lot? Do you feel like you took that on?
I learned to not do that.
Yeah, right.
To like...
Could have gone either way.
Yeah, to just like have a conversation. My parents had conversations after the fact of things, which I think is wild. So like I try to have conversations before I try to do something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my parents are big talkers, like share, or especially my mum. My mum and I both are like, we over talk probably. We've had to rein it in a little bit. Like, turns out you can go too far that direction too.
Do you remember any times with your husband where you're like, I've talked to you too much about this?
Oh, yeah. I would just, like, he doesn't need to know. I remember at one point he was like, can you stop telling me about, like, exes or stuff that you overshare? He's like, you're good. We're fine. I'm a grown man. But, like, I don't want to hear this all the time. Like, okay, occasionally is okay. But I was like, I thought I was obliged to. Like, I thought I was trying to be honest. He's like, no, you're good.
I also have had that conversation with him where he was like, I don't need to know anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you don't want to know everything about me?
Yeah.
I dated this one guy a couple years ago and I would overshare all the time. And I would go, but you want to know everything about me, right? Because we're dating. And he was like, I never said that. And in hindsight, not the nicest way to say I don't need to know everything in your thoughts.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you got to stay with somebody not good for you to learn.
You do. I was just thinking it's, I thought of it like it's almost like a compulsion, like an OCD kind of compulsion of truth telling. And I remember working with my therapist, who's brilliant, early on, him being like, I'm going to ask you to not tell me something this week that you think's important, to like something that you think is really a big deal and significant in your life. Your challenge this week is to not tell me that and to like hold space for knowing that thing yourself and not feeling like you have to unburden yourself. It's like, and it was so good. It's been like learning containers, like learning about like, you know, when to take them out, when to take things out and when not to. And you just do. I felt like, oh my gosh, I've got a secret. I've got a secret from like my teacher. And he's like, no, you're good.
You're fine. We're two adults.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me everything.
Yeah.
That's very funny. With this podcast, I kind of had to learn what I wanted to share and what like.
Did you learn it the hard way?
Not the hard way. But with this relationship, I was like, he's not a public person. He's not in entertainment. So I just tried to like be very conscientious of like what to share about him because he didn't ask for any of this. Yeah. And we did have a conversation.
It's like a child. Yeah. You're like, I don't want to put this child all over Instagram.
Yeah, no. It's like this kid didn't ask for it. And I mean, no shade to influencers who do put their kids out there, but I'm like, you're monetizing your kid. And then as I watch your content, I then wonder if you have any sort of like trust fund set up for that child to then have their share of the income that they have helped generate it.
That's interesting.
I doubt it.
But then I have this thing because I don't share my daughter publicly at all. And I'm like, I hope she knows this is on record right now, Chloe. Like, it's because I love her so much and I don't want to. Because sometimes I think, like, what if she gets, and she will probably, into teenagedom and be like, wait, you always had a public platform. Why did you never talk about me? Like, did I not matter to you?
Oh, I doubt that will ever be a conversation.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty amazing the spirals your brain will go on of like.
But I think you can always go, because I wanted it to be your choice.
That's what I'm saying on record. It's your choice. There's nothing else I would rather be talking about, but I'm not going to for you. I'll play that to her one day.
That's like, I don't really post pictures of my house on social media or like Instagram or anything because I'm like, well, it's mine.
Yeah.
And it's like my little cave where I recharge and shit. And like something has to be private.
Yeah. And especially, if you're constantly being reflected in the media all the time. It's like just some little place you can go away and it just be yours. I like that.
Like the Kardashians, I'm sure they have other homes they live in and they don't live in the house that they film in. But that feels so, to me, very vulnerable to like put your shit out there like that.
Although I will say, controversial, I'm going to talk about Meghan Markle's show. The one thing is that it's so hard that it's a hosting show. Do you know anything about it?
I haven't watched it.
Okay, it's like just was curious, put it on, and the whole premise is like hosting people at your house and like how to do it. And understandably, it's not at her house because she doesn't want that. But you're also like, you're not in your own.
But you're not in your own space.
You're not
hosting. You hosting.
Yeah,
you don't even know where the forks are.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to ask.
Exactly. And there's like not a thing out of place. And I'm like, I don't. Kind of, it lost me on that.
I do know that a woman sued her because she made a salt bath with like actual salt and like maybe Epsom salt and something else. But the lady, she had a medical issue and then it like burned her. So then she like sued. And then Meghan Markle's team was like, well, you should have known.
You should have known.
Something like that.
Wow.
I don't know. That's the only thing I know about Meghan Markle's show.
There's also, I know that she shook out a bag, and that's my kind of hosting, to be honest. I'm like, she does what I look up to, where she shook out a bag of pretzels into like a little container or something and like put them out and was like, make things look a little bit nicer by not serving them in the bag or whatever. And I was like, that's lo-fi hosting. And that's my speed.
That is honestly very funny that she is getting paid to say out loud, take it out of the bag.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is so, that's like the first thing you do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. And also, like, I guess I was expecting she was going to make a pretzel by hand or something. But it's nice because it made it a very attainable lifestyle.
That is so funny to me. Wait, real quick. We got to take a break. You ever split the check and someone goes, I'll get you next time, and you know that next time is never coming? Don't be that person. Just use Cash App. Signing up took like 2 seconds, and suddenly I had this sleek little app in my pocket that let me send and request money fast. It's perfect for everything: brunch, groceries, sending your friend $12.47 because they spotted you at CVS. Just type it in, hit send, and you're done. What's great about Cash App is it's a safe way to send money. They actually warn you if something seems off before you send money. It's like, hey girl, are you sure about this? And sometimes, no, I am not. So thank you, Cash App. Also, can we talk about the fun part? You can make your payments cute. Add stamps, backgrounds, make it feel like a little digital love note with money inside. So paying someone back feels a little more fabulous, as it should. If you're not already on Cash App, first of all, what are you doing? Second, go download it. Use my code DATEME in your profile, send $5 to a friend, and you'll get $10 back just for getting started. For a limited time only, new Cash App users can use my exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, there's no catch. Just download Cash App and sign up. Use my exclusive referral code DATEME in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. You've heard me talk about therapy and mental health just a lot on this show. But what we don't talk about enough is how eating disorders can show up in all kinds of ways, and not just always in the ways that you'd expect. It might look like constantly dieting, feeling out of control around food, or being way too hard on yourself when it comes to your body or exercise. If that sounds familiar, either to you or someone you love, I want to tell you about Equip. Equip is a virtual evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps you heal your relationship with food and your body from the comfort of your own home. And this isn't just one person you talk to. Every Equip patient gets a full team, a therapist, a dietitian, a medical provider, and even a mentor, someone who's been through it, gets what you're going through. And what I love is how Equip makes care actually fit into your life. You don't have to pause your whole schedule to get support. They meet you where you're at and tailor treatment to you. It's covered by insurance, there's no wait list, and they treat people of all ages, all backgrounds, so you can get started right away. So if you're stuck in unhealthy patterns or you're ready for support that actually gets it, check out Equip. To learn more about Equip's virtual eating disorder treatment, visit equip.health/dateme. That's equip.health/dateme. And we're back. Do you and your husband like hosting people at your house? You just looked at me so strangely.
I think I was just processing the break, really.
Oh, in editing, it'll be longer.
I know. My brain was like, oh, that was so impressive the way she just knew the bottle. Okay, feel free to jump that. My husband and I do like hosting. I feel like I could probably do longer stretches of it.
Mhm.
Like I get fueled by the energy of having people around.
Oh.
And then I get like excited and want, if someone can stay for 4 hours, and then he sort of goes into, he's so much better at just knowing his needs and taking care of them. He'll like just step into the bedroom and like look at basketball on his phone or something. And I'll just keep talking and like, going till I completely burn myself out. And so I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to be socially, like temper my social energy. Do you know what I mean? Do you have that?
It's very hard because I tucker myself out too.
Yeah.
I'll be like, stay for as long as you want.
Yeah. And then,
please, my casa is su casa.
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Do you want to sleep in my bed?
Exactly.
Like for whatever reason, I become like this crazy person.
Yeah.
So I don't have people over often.
Yeah.
Because I turned into this crazy person.
But I do remember I used to have people around a lot. I loved hosting, especially like early 20s. Me and my friend Fleur, we lived in West Hollywood together when we first. Fleur and Rose. We called ourselves a bouquet of good times. Oh, I'm so humiliated.
Rose, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
So
a bouquet
scared.
of good times.
And we would do
And when
these-
did you say that to people? Like were you at bars saying that?
No, it was these big house parties we were hosting, and we would like cordially greet people in the door with it. It was...
I'm obsessed. That's so funny.
Pretty weird. But we had an amazing time. Yeah, we used to have lots of people around. But I remember the first time when I was about 18, I'd moved into a flat and I invited friends for dinner because I was like, that's what adults do. We don't just like drink in the garage anymore. Like I'm going to invite friends for dinner. And genuinely 5 friends showed up at my house and I hadn't thought about dinner. I had just been like that. Every dinner I ate was like a can of tuna out of the fridge or some weird thing. So they were there and I suddenly like was tearing up this iceberg lettuce and trying to put tuna from the fridge, like scoop it into the lettuce leaves, like something I might have seen at a friend's house once. It was just so sad. And everybody was like, why did we let's just drink in the garage.
Why did we come here for dinner? We could truly just drink.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Except you're trying to feed us tuna on lettuce.
Yeah. Like you invite people for dinner if you're going to prepare the dinner.
See, I don't do that.
No, you
If I invite people over for dinner, I go, do you want to come over for dinner? And what will you bring?
Ah, that's a good move.
I will have mixers and liquor and some wine and champagne.
Yep.
I'll have everything you want to drink.
Yep.
I can make you a Cosmo. I can make you...
And make yourself at home with the cutting board and the pans and pots.
But please, and I do.
Wow.
I have Le Creuset pans and shit.
Oh.
I simply don't know how to cook.
You just don't?
I don't know how to cook.
Have you tried?
Oh, so many times.
Did you do a cooking class or anything?
No, I would look at stuff online, and I used to make a thing called slop.
Was that slaw or slop?
Slop. S-L-O-P. Slop.
Okay, slop. What have we got in slop?
With my old roommate, it would be ground turkey, tomato sauce, and then instead of over noodles, it'd be over zucchini. And the water from the zucchini would make it so much more watery that I would just and then you put ricotta on top and when you mix it all together, it looks so nasty, but it's pretty good if I season it good.
Even the watery kindness of it all?
Yeah.
Works?
Cool. It just doesn't look appetizing.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I wouldn't season it well. I'll never make you the same thing twice.
You're going to say, I'll never make it for you. I was like, okay.
No, I'll make it for you. If you want it, I'll make it. Rose, can I ask, when you were proposed to, did you know you were getting proposed to?
I wonder if I should say this. Sure. I had suspected it was coming. I had never. We kind of weren't really planning on getting married in any great rush, and then visas, and my husband's got a green card and became a citizen, and it kind of became we'd talked about at some point maybe that would be a really logical thing to do, and then the more we'd been together, we were like, actually, that might be nice. Anyway, I definitely hadn't seen it coming in the months leading up to it at all, but the day before, my parents and his parents were all in town. We'd hosted both our families together because they all get along.
Aww.
And it was so nice. And I just had this really strong feeling it was going to suddenly happen that day. And I just kind of panicked and was excited, but just a little overwhelmed in advance. Anyway, then it didn't. And so I was then I was pissed off, even though I had chosen this date out of nowhere that it was suddenly going to happen on. And the next morning, we were walking up Griffith Park together, which we do quite often, just a hike. And I was like, I had the weirdest feeling last night that you were going to propose and then you didn't. And I don't know why I thought that, but I just felt like I should tell you. And it's why I seemed a little pissed off or strange.
Because you got to tell the truth.
And then he pulled the ring out of his pocket and he was like, that was what we were doing this morning. So I completely jumped the gun. It's so me to anticipate. And he laughed though. He was like, thank God I've been dying for an on-ramp. I just kind of didn't And then it was actually really sweet and perfect. And we were kind of we were very in sync about it all. But I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, here I am just jumping the moment, being
I like that though. That's very sweet. And it sounds like it's very you. So it was a very you proposal.
Yeah.
The only reason I ask is because I keep seeing memes about girls showing off their rings and their nails are all fucked up.
Oh yeah. So true. And my nails are 99% of the time fucked up. You were ready. Are you anticipating something?
No, not with my Lisa Frank nails.
That's incredible. I think your boyfriend should probably propose to you right now just based on the nails.
No, I don't want to get married yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm too young. I'm 67 years old.
The other good thing about our engagement was my husband had, it turned out, asked George. His name's George. I don't have to keep speaking about him. George,
my husband,
my betrothed, had asked my dad the week prior, which is so not either of their speed. But I think he just turns out my dad was sleeping in a room where he'd hidden the ring and he had to go in to get it because we were traveling on a plane. And so he kind of just didn't really have another way of making it, saying, can I come into the room you're sleeping in
into the room
while
and be
he's napping?
I'm doing some business. He's running late.
So
no,
I guess he'd asked him and it was so sweet. And then apparently my dad was leaving 2 days before he proposed. And so he said, apparently my dad that morning went over and was like, well, he's South African. He's like, well, George, about that conversation we had, is anything happening? And George was like, yeah, it's happening today. It's cute. But I just love the idea of my dad who wouldn't say boo to a goose. He's like so shy and just gentle and no pressure ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what about that conversation we had? Like looked all excited and hopeful because he didn't want to miss it.
Sounds adorable.
He's really cute.
Wait, he's from South Africa? Where in South Africa?
Well, he's from Pretoria, and then my mum is from Zimbabwe, from Harare, and they met in Cape Town. But my dad's claim to fame is his high school is where Oscar Pistorius and Elon Musk both went. So
Ooh,
2 for 2.
We love Elliot Musk.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yep.
The only reason I ask is because I've been to Johannesburg.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been to Zimbabwe/Zambia. I went to Victoria Falls.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
No.
My God, it is beautiful.
Wow.
So stunning. And you can sit in Victoria Falls.
You are outdoorsy. You said you weren't.
I like the water.
Okay.
I'm a water baby.
Okay. That's outdoor, just for the record, mainly.
You're right. Maybe I am an outdoors girl. Only if there's water.
Okay.
But you have to like swim against the current like 3 times. It's pretty hard. They ask you beforehand if you can swim, but nobody warns you how hard it is to swim against the current of one of the largest waterfalls. And then you sit in a pool at the edge of the waterfall, and then they take pictures of you. And I went with my best friend Sasheer. All of the pictures of her.
I love Sasheer.
Isn't she the best?
The best.
She's grimacing in all of the pictures and very scared.
She a good swimmer? Like, because I couldn't do that, just for the record. I can't. I'm like a dog paddler.
On the way back, they announced that she was the worst swimmer, and they made her go first.
Oh no!
And we had to watch her struggle.
And you all had to like push her from behind.
I mean, kind of. And I said, at least you won something. And she didn't like that.
That's so good. Oh no. Okay, so she and I would be, yeah.
And then they asked her, they were like, why aren't you more fit? Because she looks fit.
Yeah. Is she athletic in general?
You know.
Not.
I think if you ask her, she would say yes.
Okay.
But I think if
she wasn't like juggling sort of a competitive athletic career and
I think she can
comedy.
I think she can be athletic if she wanted to be.
Okay.
But she was on vacation and she was like, I don't want to be.
Yeah, I respect that.
For me, I was like, oh, I'll swim anywhere. I'll literally swim anywhere. I love swimming.
I love being in the water, and I'm a terrible swimmer, which is such a bad combo, especially in New Zealand, your favorite place in the world. The beaches are like really wild. I grew up on the beach, and it's like huge currents and big, black sand and huge waves and
black sand.
Yeah, it's.
I gotta get there.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, you'd love it, but if you're a good swimmer, you're a lot safer because it's like very hazardous. And yeah, I took my life in my hands every time I got in the ocean.
I'm Delulu. I truly feel like, and I've said this before on this podcast, if I got taken away with the current, like the whales would take me and I'd become their queen.
You are Delulu.
I truly believe if I got swept away, the animals would keep me alive and love me. And it would be like Avatar Way of the Water.
Oh my God.
Like a chunk of the movie is not even a movie. It's just him swimming around with whales.
Is this like from a children's book or something?
Nope.
What's happening?
Nope. This is just
you sound like
me being delusional.
My mum and dad had a landslide a couple of years ago. The side of their property, it's all like volcanic soil, and it's they are lucky. Their house was still standing, but it like caved in up to their back door.
God.
It was ridiculous. It was so intense. But it's totally, the house is not safe. And they'll, I'm sure, come across this clip at some point and argue with me. But
wait, they still live in it?
They still live in it. And it got, it was 2 years later, the slide started to be repaired by the guys at the council or whatever. There's 2,000 people, and so many people had real tragedies that were being dealt with. But in the interim, I was like, well, where are we going to be? And my mum was like, oh, if I go down with it, then so be it. I'm like, what?
Their house will never float away. I promise you. When you think like that, good things happen.
Manifesting.
Yeah. The house will be fine. They'll be fine in it.
It's a like precarious. It looks like Ron Weasley's house on the edge of a cliff. It's like held together with magic. It's so dodgy.
And it'll stay up forever. It will. When people think like that.
It's like those like 105-year-olds who smoke and drink their whole life.
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, it's fine. I knew I was going to be fine.
Yep.
That's
You
going to be
just
you.
gotta believe. I hope I don't live forever. This world, I gotta say, you heard it here first. It's going south.
Is this why you're trying to...
Pretty bad.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is the calling to be sucked out into the ocean thing again.
Truly, suck me out. I truly think I could like live in a whale. They're big.
Now you're just thinking of Jonah. Like, we're definitely just in the Bible at this point.
Maybe. But I don't think a shark would eat me. I really don't. I think the jellyfish would like wrap me up. And
Have you seen Grizzly Man?
No.
He's the man who believed that like he was destined to like commune with bears and live with grizzly bears, and that he understood them better.
They ate him right up, didn't they? He didn't believe enough. He showed he was scared at some point.
You are so gaslighting.
he didn't believe enough. He needed to believe just a little bit harder. And the bears would have listened.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it's a very sad documentary if you're after a bit of a depressing watch. Highly recommend.
There was also a lady who made friends with dolphins. And she
Friends with dolphins?
She would like jerk them off.
Okay. There's a guy who has a book called Wet Goddess.
Ugh.
He was in a relationship with a dolphin. My dear friend David Farrier, who's got a great podcast. He was an oddball journalist. He'll love me describing him as that, but he would do these bizarre stories. And one was like in maybe 2005 or something. He interviewed this guy who wrote a book called Wet Goddess about his relationship with a dolphin that began in college. She's initiated. She like started the relationship.
The dolphin did?
Yeah. And when he had to leave, when he was like leaving college or whatever, and he was going to be leaving the town, she was so depressed she committed suicide. I know.
This is why I believe that if I got swept away, the animals would take me. They wouldn't know. They'd be like, she belongs with
They'd try
us.
to initiate something. Watch out.
I don't think I could date a dolphin. I think they're too smooth.
You draw the line there?
A little. I'll just be friends.
Yeah.
I'll be their queen.
I just was like, I couldn't believe, that's some nerve to say the dolphin came onto me. Like,
it's a good justification as to why you started it. You can't be like, well, I initiated it. What's a dolphin? What? How does a dolphin even initiate?
No. But did you know they can, this is so bleak, commit suicide? Dolphins?
I didn't know they could commit suicide, but
I guess they block their blowhole.
Oh my God.
I know, sorry, this isn't like light comedy. It's just kind of shocking. But
It's okay.
Yeah, but I think they're one of the only animals that can. I can't wait for someone to destroy me. That I may be telling so many lies.
Oh
but
my God. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Because I think of Lisa Frank dolphins when I think of dolphins. And like those happy-go-lucky dolphins killing themselves really makes me
I think the
sad.
Lisa Frank dolphins have some good mental health support.
I hope so. They're surrounded by color.
Yeah.
Rose, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any dating advice for people who are single?
What do I have? I have my mum. My mum, who I told you speaks like she's talking in fables and sort of riddles and stuff quite a lot of the time. I remember when I moved over to the States and I had the same boyfriend from 15 to 22. I had my high school boyfriend. We were like, he's an amazing person. Love him very much. When we broke up and I was coming over here and she knew I was like, I was free in the world. She said to me as I got on the plane, as I got to the airport, she said, just promise me that you'll watch out for the two-legged wolves. And I remember just feeling like just creepy men. Like creepy men is all she needed to say. But watch out for the two-legged wolves. Weirdly, that does pop into my head like as kind of sound advice.
I think so.
Like that, people's intentions, like a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of idea, I guess. But that people can present very well initially. And you just don't know somebody out the gate. Like just give yourself a moment to actually get to know them before you go in too deep.
I think that's good advice because I think the statistic is you don't actually know someone for like, I think the longest someone can pretend is like 3 months. So like after 3 months, their true self comes out. And then I think they say you don't actually like know someone for like 2 years or something like that.
I remember hearing that like when you've been together through every season, more than like once you're going into, you've done winter and then the following winter, it's like you see whether they still kind of interact with you in the same way they did last Christmas or whether it's like gotten better, gotten worse. It kind of gives you those moments of like time markers to reflect on when you look at a season. How many, what seasons are we coming to with you and your boyfriend?
This is second summer.
Second summer.
Or second spring. We're in spring right now.
Yeah.
But first spring is when we first met.
And so you're having a second spring. Yeah, you're getting, this
Mhm.
is where it changes, I reckon. You start like, I mean, who knows? It's different for everyone. I have no
He's
idea.
still
what I'm
pretty
talking
nice,
about.
and that's been really nice.
That's
I'm
good.
having a nice time.
Yeah, that's it. I reckon people don't feel the need to present a certain way anymore by that point.
Yes.
And that's telling.
I mean, I didn't present any sort of way when we first met. I very much was just like, this is it. This is what you're getting.
Yeah.
And he liked it. So that's
Perfect.
nice.
That's good advice. Just present and be like, this is who I am.
I just did a stand-up show in Seattle, and I don't talk about my boyfriend in my stand-up because I'm happy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
That's
I don't
nice.
have any jokes about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I talk about being single, and I try to keep it in the past tense, but sometimes I fuck up because I have a truth thing when I'm on stage. Like, I feel like I have to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
This man after the show was like, hey, you'll find somebody, okay? You just have to, like, be true to you and keep being you, and don't dim your light for anybody. And I was like, and I was like, I can't tell them I'm dating somebody. They're having a moment.
Yeah.
So I let them have a moment for a very long time. And I just said, oh, thank you so much.
I think that's all you needed to say. Thank you so much. He didn't need that. That would be a truth compulsion that you just need to be like, what is the end goal there?
Yes.
He's not, if he gave you his number, then you can go, hey,
yes.
whoa.
Actually,
thanks.
no,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand your truth thing a lot.
Yeah.
I also don't know why I'm like, I have to tell you the truth. I simply must.
I know. Why? It doesn't help.
No.
Like, of course there are times, but you've got to be discerning. But imagine if you told like your grandma every sexual exploit. Like, you don't need to tell everyone everything.
No, you really
Turns
don't.
out.
I got a DUI when I was 17 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to Chicago to go visit my grandparents. And I was like, should I tell grandma? And my dad was like, are you proud of it? And I was like, no. And he was like, then no.
She doesn't need
it.
it.
Okay.
She doesn't need it. I would be exactly the same.
And I don't know why I felt like I needed to tell her. Also, I wasn't driving. It was a wild story. Anyway, Rose, before we go, you do an impression of Betsy Sodaro.
I have done an impression of Betsy
May I
Sodaro.
hear it?
Well, I'll tell you that I got to do an impression of Betsy Sodaro in the show Ghosts that we both work on.
Yes.
She is the best, funniest, greatest,
She's one of my favorite people.
Speak more. She's so kind. She's like so talented and like not self-serving at all. And like I love Betsy. So I was both thrilled and very intimidated to have to do an impersonation of her. But she was really helpful and gave me like videos and did so much. And the big takeaway was, you've got to have like your gateway word. Or you've got to find your word. Mine was, there's a character in the show called Stuart, and I say Stuart with like as if it's got a W in it, but it doesn't. And Betsy just like, Stuart. And so Stuart, the number of times, if you see the outtakes, I'm like mad. I'm sitting in the corner like, Stuart. Just
That's
word.
Very good.
But that's where I will draw the line.
Okay.
You got a word.
I did get a word, but I got a little thirsty for more words.
I like to leave you wanting more.
That's very good. I always thought I did a pretty decent impression of Betsy, but yours is much
better. Give me
better.
Stuart. That's really good too. It's kind of hit it with the going up.
Stuart?
Oh, that's good.
Let's see.
Your first one
Nicole,
was...
we gotta go to Taco Bell.
That's really good.
It's a little too raspy.
I'm very bad at impersonations in general. Like that, like I'm okay at just making things up and being like new characters like that. But full on just impersonating is not my strong suit. And I didn't know that. Sorry to hog your time, but you've got to hear this. I was playing the Simpsons game with all my friends when we worked in a factory at a high school on like school holidays, like making hampers.
That is a Mad Lib. We were playing the Simpson game while we worked in the factory. Okay.
School holidays, my friend's dad made hampers. We were all working there assembling these hampers. And they came up with this game called the Simpsons game where like it was doing Simpsons impressions. I didn't know. They kept asking. I thought I was so good. They were asking me to do them all the time because mine were all the same. So it was like Marge was like, homie. And then like Lisa was like, Bart. And like, they all were the same.
That's really funny.
So anyway, my actually Stuart is not far off. Stuart. I think my I think my Betsy is just a Simpsons character.
No, you do a good Betsy.
Mm.
It's very good.
Now I'm spiraling.
No, don't
And on that
spiral.
note, thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing this. Would you date me?
I'd love to. Be honored.
What a dream.
Mhm.
And if you like this episode of Why Won't You Date Me, you could like it, you could rate it, you could subscribe, you could give me 5 stars on, I'm not saying words good. You can
Mad
give me
Lib.
5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you write me something dirty, hitting on me to whywontyoudatemepodcast@gmail.com, I will read it. This lovely person kept it short and sweet. Dear Nicole, I'd suck your boyfriend's dick just to get a taste of you? He would never allow it. That rocked my world. I read the first half as, you know how sometimes you don't read the end of a sentence as you start?
Yeah.
That's what happened here. And that was wild.
But you know what else? I think she knew. She knew that was going to shock you as it came out. Like it was,
I'm blown away.
Wow. Glad he wouldn't.
I don't think so. I got to
Should
double
ask him.
check.
You should ask him and
It's like,
confess
hey,
to him
would
that
you
you've
let
done that.
someone suck your dick so they can taste me? He'd be like, wow, everything's about you.
Again, I don't need to hear everything all the time.
Bye-bye.
Do you want to ask if she has anything to promote?
Oh, fuck. Rose, do you have anything you want to promote?
I am just really, really grateful that I'm gainfully employed on Ghosts, a comedy on CBS. So that's my life at the moment. Is we've got another 2 seasons coming up, and we have fun.
It really is such a fun show. Like, the casting director did a really great job of like putting people together who really bounce off one another.
Thanks.
And you're great on it.
Thanks.
It's
Thanks,
so
love.
fun.
Other than that, just really working on some quilting. So I'll let you know when the
Are you gonna
online
sell
store
one?
opens. We'll see. It takes like 500 hours to do one, and I don't know if I could charge enough that it justifies it.
Yes,
So,
you can.
Probably not.
No, just charge a ton of money. And if it doesn't sell, use it.
Okay. Business advice.
Business. Thank you.
Thank you, love.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was a HeadGum podcast.